we're going to talk about how to do the sampling assignment here. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and just record myself doing I'm just going to sample my voice a little bit here. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go here to external in. Let's see, make sure our external in is set up correctly. Also, I'm using the new version of Ableton Live that just came out yesterday. So there's a few things that are different in here. I'm going to point that out right here as well. So I'm going to call this one Beatbox. And we're going to set this up so it's sampling correctly. And this is all stuff that's actually really important that you set up correctly. Actually, I do want to say one thing here while I'm thinking about it, is that a bunch of people turned in, it was like 3 people who turned in their Pro Tools editing projects the other day, turned in everything with a mono master. And that's really scary to me that you're thinking that you can make a master track that's mono and you just go through the whole thing without even noticing that it's mono, because that means you're either really not paying attention to what I'm saying, and you're also not paying attention to what you're doing, because that's one of the biggest things that we talked about in the beginning, and I've mentioned several times, and I've made a bunch of master faders for y'all, and you've watched me do it, and they're always stereo. And the fact that you're doing a master fader mono, and you're not even questioning it at all and noticing that it's wrong, is kind of scary to me. So y'all need to really be on top of stuff like that and really pay attention to your mono versus stereo. So in this case here, I'm making this track, I'm recording it in mono because this microphone is mono and I wanted to do it, I need to do it mono. But I do have a stereo option here because the external in does have stereo left and right for some reason. So I could do stereo. If I did that, it's just going to be on my left side. And if I continued to make my production like that, it would be really like, what are you doing? Like, why are you, if you're not paying attention that much, why are you here? So if you don't want to pay attention to stuff, if you don't notice that things are wrong or weird, you've got to really be on top of yourself for that. And so when you turn in work like that, it's actually really, really sloppy, because a stereo master effect, a master fader is super, super important. So you got to make sure you're on top of stuff like that. All right. So here's my thing here. So I'm just going to go ahead and make some samples here real quick. I'm just going to do them right in here. Let me go ahead and save this first. Let's call this sampling assignment 2105. There we go. Cool. So there we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and just record some samples. Boom. Bap. Boo. Boop. Cool. So I've got some samples here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut these. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these things. Turn the warp off on all of them. I'm going to just go down here and go, let's grab the first one here. I'm going to set the beginning and end points for the first one. And we're going to trim these down a little bit more later. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hold this down till I got another one here. I hold down Option, drag it down, and grab the second one here. It's a little bit different from how I did it the other day. I'm just showing you a couple different ways you can do this. Remember the other day I just set all my start points and then I drag the end points over. It really depends on how you want to do it. And it's no big deal however you want to do it. They all work. So I'm just going to grab all these individual parts. You notice I turned the warp off when I did it. Because I do not want my warp on. I do not want any kind of warping to happen with this. So I've just got this down here. And next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and see what each one is. Boom. Okay, that's my boom. Boom. Bap. That's my bap. Okay, that's my hi-hat. That's my closed hi-hat. This is my, call that open hi-hat. My clock sound. Over here, boo, is my zap and then boop, beep. Okay, so I've got these here. Now once I've got them all named, I'm going to hold down Shift to highlight all of them, right click, and select Crop Clips here. There we go. And it just goes through and it crops all the clips. So now they're all little smaller clips like this. And now I can go ahead and drag these all into a instrument. We're going to drag them into a drum rack. So I'm going to go over here to my drums, just double click drum rack right there. And that goes onto here. And I'm just going to drag these all down, hold down Shift, drag them over here, and then put them down here like that. So now I've got these here. Where are we? Turn my record on. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and you can see they're a little bit, I need to zoom in on these, and I can do it, I can make this bigger so y'all can see it better. I usually don't do it up here, just for, just don't really need to really. Boom, 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 boom. Cool, and I'm gonna put the fade out here. Boom, 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 boom. Bap, 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 bap. And you just want to make sure you get rid of this beginning part here. Bap, 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 bap. I'm just gonna put this over like that. Bap, bap. Do my fade out here, and this is an envelope. Bap, 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 bap. So I'm just cleaning the sound up. And I'm just gonna grab the end like this, and grab the end over here. There we go. Get rid of all that reverb. And I'm stopping it before the end, but I'm putting a fade on it. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. There we go. Cool. Got this little sound over here. Stop that. There we go. And this is, remember, this is all stuff that comes with Ableton Live. This drum rack thing. Everything I'm doing right now is just using the stuff that comes with Ableton Live. So anybody can do this. And I just want you to notice that I'm putting it far in here. So I'm cutting off the end of the waveform, but I'm putting a little fade so it doesn't have a clip. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. Awesome. So we have all this down here now. Close this back down again. And I can save this as if I want. Let's call this my boom bap kit. When you save something like this, if you want to make sure you save all the samples into Ableton Live, just make sure that you're in your library section here, it does collect files on import, set that to always, close that out, and then hit the save button. So it'll save it into your internal library. Because otherwise, like I have my, I think the default is set to always. Mine, I set it to never because I usually don't want that to do like that. But if I'm recording my own kits like this, I'll turn that back on. Now, one thing I just want to draw your attention to here, Ableton Live has made a couple of changes with this update that they had yesterday, and I just want to point these out down here. The gain is now, they've got a fader in here, so you can actually move the fader up and down. It's like a little small fader, so it's like almost useless, but there it is. And then the pitch has semitones and cents over here on the right, so they've kind of squashed things down a little bit. And this is your reverse button here. The edit button is right there. There's a couple of other little changes in here. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head because I haven't really, it's just this update just came out yesterday. So those are the big ones right there, was that. And then there's some stuff for the chance and the velocity. So I'm going to show you what the chance and velocity is for actually right now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a little drum beat. Turn this down, slow this down. Okay, I'm just going to make a little drum beat here. Okay, here we go. Cool. Just going to go ahead and quantize that in. Oops, that one. Oh, wrong button. Boom, 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 bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom. Put this on the back a little bit. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom. Cool. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, cool. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. Move this one over as well using my arrow keys. Bap, cool. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. Nice. Okay. So this is just my little drum loop that I made with my mouth here. Boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Awesome. Now a couple things here. One, I want to separate these out. I just made this little drum beat here, but I actually want to put these out on separate little tracks here so I can deal with them individually, so I can put different effects and stuff on them. I can actually do all that right here in my drum kit. I don't love to do it in my drum kit because I like to be able to click on the tracks and see them. And you can do that like this right here, but I also like to be able to send them over to effects and stuff like that individually, and that's what you can't do here. So I can put different insert effects on the tracks right here, but I can't send them over to my individual effects. I can't send them over to my send effects from here. You can see there's no send effects here. I can send the group over, but I can't send the individual tracks over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take these and extract them. So I open it up like right here, and I right click on the top and I say extract chains. And then here's this BAP. Just going to extract all these out. I'm going to put my hi-hats together. If you highlight two of them at the same time, it'll extract them out to a single drum instrument. Boom, drum device, what they call it. And then, oh, I got this clock as well. Boom. And it automatically puts in the clip into this new one over here. The only problem is with this, it doesn't really name it correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn these off. I'm going to just hit 0 on these and turn them off. It doesn't really name them, which is too bad. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom. But now boom, bap, I can go through boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Rename all these. Boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Oh, this is the clock. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Oh, these are the hi-hats. Okay. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Cool. Now what I want to have happen is I don't want this one here to always happen, this open hi-hat. Let's just solo this out and listen to this. I mean, it sounds like a real hi-hat. That's so funny. So I don't want that one to happen all the time, and I also want these to kind of do a little bit more. Be a little bit more interesting. Okay. Cool. So this here, I'm going to go down here, I'm going to adjust my chance. So the chance is this one right here, beneath this one. So I click on this, and I can make these bigger. I can adjust these like this. And so I can see here's my chance, and right now everything is just set to 100%. Let me go over here. I don't want this one here to always happen. So I'm going to turn down the chance to about 50%. And this one over here, same thing, maybe a little bit more than 50%. So now, it's going to happen sometimes and not other times. And now it's happening all the time. Hold on, let's turn that down more. So eventually this will stop happening. Like that. There we go. Bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. And this one here, boom, bap, boom. Also, I don't want it to happen all the time. Boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. It's still happening too much. Bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. And I can put this one over here and set the boom, there we go. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. Boom, that up a little bit more. Boom, bap. There you go. Boom, bap. And so it'll have this bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. So sometimes they both won't happen. Sometimes they will happen. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Cool. All right, so we can see that. Now I can put some effects on these. One thing I can do with this kick drum is, let's beef up this kick drum a little bit more so it's got like some low end in it. So even though it's got my voice in there, we're going to have like a little bit of low end. We'll grab that low end from an 808. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my drums. I'm going to grab an 808 kick. Let's grab this one here, and I'm going to drag this down into this. I'm going to open up like this, the chain here, and I'm going to drag my sample down here into this one here. So it's actually going to play, well, not you, hold on. I'm going to make this into a group. Sorry, there we go. Let's group this. IO, no. Group this, there we go. So I'm going to group this one. And if I group it, and here, let me just show you what I did there. So what I did was, I don't click on the chain, I click on this one here. I think there's a way, if I hold down Command, or there used to be a way that you could just drag this on top of it and it would automatically make, I don't know what it is. There used to be I thought there was a way you could just drag it in here and it would just like, add it in, but I guess not, or maybe it's over here. No, okay, whatever. So what I can do is I can click on this one here and hit Command G, and it will make a group for me. It'll group instrument group, and then instrument rack rather, and then I can just drag this down here. So now what'll happen is bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, boom. Now it's gonna play that sound there. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna put a little fade on the beginning. Boom. We can see if I zoom in here. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. So it doesn't have any pop or click. Boom. Turn this into a one shot here. There we go. Boom. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Turn it to one shot. Now the one shot, that means it's going to play it straight from the beginning. Boom, 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 and all the way to the end. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and I'm putting a little fade on the end here to kind of tailor the sample a little bit. Boom. And now I've got this sound here that has both of my kicks in it. It's got my mouth kick and it's got my boom kick in here to kind of just like give that some thickness, like to make it a little bit deeper and everything. What I can do is over here. I'm gonna put some effects on the end here. Let's go ahead and put this. Let's make it like, make sure it's compressed, make sure it's nice and like thick with the saturator here. So I'm gonna go over here to my audio effects. I'm gonna go down here to my drive and color and saturator. Put that right there. So now it's got a little bit of a distortion to it. There we go. Color it up. Frequency. Cool, dry, wet. You can hear now it's like this. And I don't want it to be so much that it's like, you know, I don't want that kick drum to take over the sound. And I can adjust the volume right here with it. But I think it's okay actually like that. And Colson, bass drum, combo. There we go. Bap, bap, bap. Turn all these down a little bit. Bap, 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 bap. Turn my hi-hats down. Bap, 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 bap. Turn my clock up. Bap, bap. Cool. Bap. This boop, let's send this over here to the delay. So let's put this over here on this delay, the H delay, stereo, ping pong, bap. And I can go over here and I can just test it out and see what it sounds like. There we go, yeah. There we go. Bap, 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 cool. Bap, 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 bap. And let's grab this one here. Bap, bap, bap. Just some of these. Bap, 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 bap. Give us like a little room vibe to it. Bap, 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 bap. Maybe give this a different delay. Bap, let's use reflector. Bap, 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 bap. Where is it? Bap, 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 bap. Oh, replica, that's what I'm talking about. Bap, bap, bap. There we go. Bap, 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 bap. And this one here. All right, so send this over here. And now we're going to start getting into resampling stuff. So in here. So let's go ahead and sample that sound right there. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, so this is a sound, and what I want to do is I want to have that sound, all this be part of my sample. So Ableton Live has this really cool feature called resampling. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new audio track. I'm going to call this thing clock resample, or I usually call it bounce. Clock effects bounce. And in here, I'm going to go to audio from, and I'm going to go to resampling. And what this does is it's basically going to capture what I'm playing here. Okay, I'm going to capture it with all that stuff. Okay, Let me go ahead and turn this on as well, enable the send here, so it's going to have some reverb. Cool. And now I'm just going to hit go here. I'm going to stop everything from playing and hit this. And now I got that sample right there. And I'm just going to turn the warp off, grab the sample, this, crop that. Let's listen to it. Oops, hold on, let's make sure this, like, you always make sure that you've got enough of the tail. Yeah, that sounds good. And right click, crop. And now I can throw this into here, this clock sound. I'm gonna throw it into a different one. I'm just gonna drag it down here and throw it in here. Let's just throw it on this one here. Cool. Make sure you set up the top part here. It's a one shot, so it's gonna play it straight through to the end. You notice how there's no noise like there was from my voice. And that's got everything on there, but I'm hearing it twice, so let's go ahead and turn this stuff down. There we go. So if I want it dry, and now this one has the wet sound in it. Let's go ahead and put that through another couple of effects. Change this one here. Padland. I'm going to go over here to rhythmic ones. That's a pretty cool little sound there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the record here. Cool. Okay, I'm going to hit this record button. It's going to go. I'm just going to record lots of it here. And now I can use this as a little rhythmic loop. So here, let's call this one clock rhythm loop, like that. I go in here to my warp, turn the warp off. I'm going to zoom in, and this one here I'm going to zoom in really closely here. And let's crop that, and let's just listen to this one here. I'm actually going to put this on its own little audio track here, right over here. And solve this out. And I'm going to warp this now. And I'm going to tell it, it's going to tell me the wrong tempo. It doesn't know the tempo. The tempo is 92 BPMs because that's what the tempo is up here. But you hear how it just like went really weird, right? I don't want that. I want to type this tempo in here, 92, so it'll be the right tempo. Set this up correctly. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a part of this, turn the loop on, grab a part of this here. And I'm going to just grab one little part here. There we go, we've got that. So now I can play everything. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. And now I've got this little rhythm boom, bap, right here. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap. That I made this little clock rhythm, and I could turn this down boom, here. Bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, cool. Bap, boom, bap. Okay, and this is resampling here. What I'm doing is I'm running my sound through this effect and I'm sampling it. And then I'm using that as a new loop or a new sample or something like that. So let's just go over here and look at the notes here. and get a better idea of that. There we go. Okay. So resampling is when you sample a sound and then run that sound through effects and then sample the new sound to create a new sample. That's really what it is. It's just stacking effects on top of samples that you already have. So if we're using, like in this case, we're using the sounds that I made from my mouth and we're running them through effects, various effects, and then we're sampling those and then using those in here. So for example, if I go over here to my clock sound, I'm going to turn down all these effects, and let's say I have this one, but then I have that one as well. So sometimes I can play that one. Let's go ahead and duplicate this a couple times, and this time I can make it play this one. Like every other time I can have it play this one. So now what we've got is this. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Now it's got that one there. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Now it sounds a lot like this one here. Let's go ahead and change this up so it doesn't sound so much like it. I'm just going to adjust these. Put in, I just move this, I hold down shift and I move these around, these little transient markers, and then over here I put a transient marker in right there. Let's just make sure there's a transient marker here in the beginning as well. Cool. And what I'm going to do is I've got this, my beats, warp mode is beats, transients set to this loop, and then here I'm going to put this up an octave, hold down shift, click it, boom, bap, boom, bap, there we go, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom. Let's move this over, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Cool, we solo this up. There's that, or there we go. Go. Boom. Bap. A little bit of a better loop. Bap. Boom. Bap. Boom. Bap. Boom. Bap. Cool. Boom. Bap. Bap. Boom. Bap. Boom. Bap. Boom. Bap. Boom. Let's record this clock one more time through something else. Let's record it through like a really long reverb here. Go over here to my replica. Let's open this up and go into here and go to reverb sounds. Change this. I'm going to go ahead and put this mix all the way up. There we go. And set that lock button. That's a cool sound. Let's record that one in. Go ahead and stop this clock from playing. I'm going to stop everything from playing. I'm going to hit this record button over here because we're still set to resampling mode. I'm just going to hit the record button. Cool. I'm going to let that die off. Give it a second. You can still hear it. Awesome. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just grab this little bit here. I'm going to turn the warp off because it's not a rhythmic sound. And let's drag this one, crop it, drag it into here, onto that G sharp, right there. So if I hit this key, it'll play that reverb. We're also hearing we're basically hearing the reverb twice right now, but I'll go ahead and stop that. And let's grab one more reverb. Let's grab a short little reverb. Let's grab it actually without this one here. So it's no. It's just got that. Yep, cool. One more time. Great. Now I just got that sound without the reverb there. Warp off. Drag that in. Turn this reverb off right here. Listen to it. Great. It's a really short reverb. I'm going to crop that. And now drag this onto the E. I'm going to just move this one over here to the D sharp so we're not using it. I'm going to drag this one down here into this one. So now we got that. And in here, I'm going to set that up like that. Boom. So now when we hit play on these, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. It's got that reverb on it. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. It's got that one there. Bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. So we have these different sounds here. Boom, bap, boom, bap, cool. Bap, bap, boom, bap. Awesome. All right. So are there any questions? I mean, nobody's like really speaking up right now, so I'm guessing that there's no questions and y'all are just fascinated by what I'm doing. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, Tony, it's so cool, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my samples that were here. I don't really need these in here anymore. I've got them in here. They're saved into here. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's use this bap sound. Bap, 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 bap. Cool. So this one here, we're going to do the same thing with a different delay. Let's see, what does repeater do for us? Bap, 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 bap. This one is from bap, 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 bap. This is from what is it? D16, I think the name of the company is. Let's see here. This is going to be more old style stuff. No, let's not use this one. Let's use something a little bit funkier. Let's go ahead and grab a Sound Toys delay. Oh no, I know what we can use. We'll use an Eventide. Let's use this Eventide Ultra Tap. Yeah. Oh wait, I don't have my iLok plugged in. I do have that iLok. I don't have a way to plug it in. Dang. All right, never mind. We're not going to use the Eventide because I don't have my iLok. All right, so okay, so we'll use guitar. Let's use Guitar Rig. Yeah. And once again, we'll throw this on here. Guitar Rig 6 is great for not just guitar sounds, but also sampling and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. Just remember, as I've said before, remember to put your limiter on here. Whoops. And set the limiter for -5 or something like that. And now, bap, 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 cool. Bap, bap, input sources, drums, bap, bap. Let's go ahead and bap, 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 -10 here. I'm just going to go down here and double click on some of these. That's funny. I'm not really feeling the drums. Let's go over here to some delay stuff. Here we go. Cool. All right. So we're going to grab this and click on the record button here. Let's sample that one. Set up my track, go over here, set that for BAP, effects, bounce, set my IO. So it's coming from where? Do you remember? Coming from resampling. So I'm going to go over here to resampling. There we go. So now it's going to just capture my output. grab this here, and I'm just going to hit the record button. I'm going to stop everything from playing first of all, and hit the record button over here. And it's going to record that. This really long sample here. There we go. The warp. Like this. And there's the beginning. I can crop it if I want. I'm not going to crop that one though because it's like pretty much near the beginning. I'm just going to go over here and drag it into this black key here. So now if I hit play, if I hit that key, turn off my snap, give it a fade out. Nice long fade out. So we got this. There we go. Sorry, we were going through that effect twice. But you can see. Let's grab one more. Spooky choir. Oops, wrong one. Pretty cool. Used to be that you could use your arrow keys for this to go through it, but it doesn't look like we can do that right now. That's a cool sound. That's weird. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. Huh. Okay. Cool. Somebody make some noise if y'all are feeling this, so I know you're here. Because right now, I feel like I'm just talking to nobody. Are you out there? Anybody there? Hello? Okay, cool. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, so I got this here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this BAP off right here. And this is like a really long one here. And I'm going to drag this over onto this one here. Put that right there. Boom. All right. Interesting. So nobody's talking. I'm going to have to go on here and make sure that y'all are still there. Make sure people aren't sending me a bunch of emails saying, Tony. Nope. All right. Weird. I guess y'all are just being super quiet today, or you just don't care about what I'm saying. Whatever. Whatever. Oh, you know what's happening here is, my chat is not working. Weird. I can see you talking in there. What's going on with my chat? All right. Hi. Definitely. Okay, cool. I'm not getting interesting. I'm not getting the chat in Twitch on my phone. That's weird. Hold on, let's see if somebody say something one more time here for me. Let me see if it's gonna show up on my phone or not. Yeah, I do work fast, but it's up online, so okay. Well, this is weird. Yeah, just somebody put something in here one more time. that you're here, because I'm not getting anything on my phone right now. But okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Cool. Thanks, Shane. All right, so, all right, cool. I'm just making sure, because I just making sure I don't have to like restart this or nothing. That was really weird. I wasn't getting anything on my phone. So I don't know if y'all were asking questions and I wasn't answering them. I apologize, because now I can see y'all, but it wasn't coming in before. All right. Anyway, so I just deleted those out here. So what I'm doing here is I've got these in here now, and I'm going to go ahead and add that, and then I got this one. Cool. And I also got this one. Right? So I can go ahead and put these in here. Cool. So now this here, and if I hit play on all these, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. So now you start to get some kind of interesting sound. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Let's duplicate this out one more time. There we go. Excuse me. Cool. Awesome. So we got this here. Cool. And now we got some cool little sounds going on here. You can hear how it makes everything a little bit more interesting here. I've just like gone through and sampled this and put these into my drum racks. And this is really basically what this is what resampling is. And you can apply it to anything. You can apply it to synth sounds and whatever. So let's go ahead and use this on a piano sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these over here. I don't need my original kit. What was in this one here? This is, oh, the Zap sound. Yeah, I don't need that. So I'm just going to drag this over here. I'm going to go ahead and group all these ones here together. Give that one orange. I'm going to group these together here. Command G to group. Call this my drum group, like that. And now I'm going to put a piano sound in here. Piano. Let's grab a piano that comes with Ableton Live. Piano. I'm just going to grab a regular piano. If I can find one here. Grand piano, maybe? There we go. Grab this, drag that in here. So now, play this sound. And then I'm going to go ahead and just play something in here, and we can see how we can make this into a cool little thing. So I'm going to go ahead. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap. So we got that one there. Let's do a different one here as well. Let's do something up high. Something like that. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Cool. Boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Just gonna quantize these. Bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap. Grab. Bap. That one's a little bit too loud. Bap, bap, boom, bap, boom. A couple of these are loud. Boom, bap, boom, bap. Let's listen to this. Okay, and let's put some effects directly on this one here. I'm going to separate this out into two piano parts. Call this one piano high, and this one's piano low. So we got those things there. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some effects directly on it. Before we were sending stuff over, let's grab our Reactor 6 from over here. Let's grab just the whole chain here and put this on here directly. And let's go in here to specialize. Let's see what happens. And let's just see what we can grab here. It's a pretty cool little sound there. Let's see what resample says. What's the other side of resample? Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure what this stuff is. Like why it's called. Why it's called resample. Oh, specialized has different stuff in it. Okay. I see. It's got a modulation. And filter, distortion, reverb. Here we go. Creative. Okay. That's cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this into another track here. Call this in piano high effects bounce. And I'm going to grab the sound over here from my piano high. It's a pretty cool little sound there. I'm going to do it post effects. So that means with post effects, it means this is not going to affect the level it's being recorded here at all. I'm going to change these around a little bit, push this a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to record some of these. I'm just going to let it record and do some of those kind of weird things that it's doing. Cool, okay. So I got a little bit of that. I'm going to go ahead and stop this here. And let's go ahead and edit this. So I've got all this stuff in here. I can turn my gain up if I want. Like that, so we can see what it does. Okay, and I can grab certain parts of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to chop it up like we talked about yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this right here. I'm going to put a warp marker right there. Let's go ahead and put a warp marker in over here as well. And I'm going to put warp markers in the beginning of these so I can chop these up. Or actually, you know what? Instead of doing it that way, let's actually map this to a keyboard here. So what I'm going to do is, instead of using these warp markers, and here, I'm going to undo this. I'm going to go ahead and grab certain parts of the loop. So I'm going to grab this one here, just the first bar. I'm going to go over here to this one. Let's grab this part here. Let's drag this one down. I'm holding down Option to do this. Drag this over like this. And I'm just grabbing certain sections. So this one here is this. There's that. Maybe this is better here, just as one bar. And then this one here is this. That's pretty cool there. And let's grab over here. Let's grab another section of this one here. Let's grab it from over here though. Right there. Okay, move this over here like this. And let's see what we got here. That's a cool little sample there. So I'm going to grab these, I'm going to crop all these out. I'm not going to worry about naming them right now. I'm just going to crop them up. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay, so we got these here. I'm going to put these into various instruments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new MIDI track here. Double click to make sure it says drag instrument or sample here. This is what we talked about yesterday as well. And this one here, I'm just going to drag this down here into here. I'm going to drop it down. Turn on my warp, turn on my Complex Pro. And now what's cool about this is I can go ahead, if I play this, it'll keep the tempo. It'll keep this tempo, but I can change the pitch. And now I've got this new sound here. Let me go ahead and turn that up so I can hear it better. So I got that here. Why are we not playing stuff? Oh, soloed. That's why. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. So now, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. So I can record that in. Boom, bap, boom, bap. Bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. So I got this cool sound here, and I can use this to kind of start something else. Here, let's go ahead and put a reverb over here. Let's grab Valhalla verb. And in here, let's grab like a chamber or something like that. Nice. Oh, let's grab a plate. To a plate, large plate. Piano plate, is there a piano? And we're going to do is we're going to put some, after you've got the sample in here, now you can go ahead and do whatever you want with it. You can put all sorts of like filters and things like that on here. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. That's pretty cool. It was actually it was like that bend is coming from me doing my finger on the pitch bend here. This keyboard, it's like this. It's kind of an interesting little sound, which we could record in. We can record in here. I think we can just do it like this. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. And you can see your here MIDI control pitch bend. Yeah, just got a little pitch bend right in here. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, cool, boom, bap. Okay, let's grab some of these. Here, let's listen to this one over here. Let's grab this low piano now. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. So if we want to take this one, let's take this one and run it through some effects as well. Let's run it through Crystallizer. Now, obviously, the more different effects you've got, the cooler sound you can kind of come up with, because really the weirdness of the sounds and the stuff you can use depends on what you've actually got for your, dang it. I have it literally right here. I have that. Over here somewhere. Or it's in my other bag, actually. I thought it was in here, but it's in my other bag. But it's like in the next room. That's super annoying. Okay, we're not going to use Crystallizer. We are going to use... Sonic Charge actually has some cool stuff. Here, let's use BitSpeak. No, not BitSpeak. Wrong one. Permutate. Yeah, let's use Permutate. And in here, again, this is another one that you really want to drag in your limiter here. Set up your limiter. Make sure you're good to go there. And this one should... Yeah, okay, cool. So let's go to Flakes. Boom. I'm just going to grab the C one here. C. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and resample it. Piano low effects bounce. And I'm going to grab the audio from piano low. Make sure I set it to post effects. Okay. And I'm just going to sample some of the stuff in here. Let that run a couple times. And I'm just going to flip through these different programs as I sample it, as I just keep the record button. That's pretty cool sounding. Too weird. That's a weird one. And you just go through these. And and just see what you like, what comes out pretty cool. That's pretty neat. All right, so let's stop there. I'm going to go ahead and stop the piano part here. And we've got a couple different things we can sample here, which is, I think it's some pretty neat stuff. So some of these are going to be more rhythmic loops, and some of them can be actual samples that we play. So let's go over here and see what we got. Let's see. Yeah, that one's cool. So we're going to grab that as a piano loop. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set my loop here, because we can see they're all 2-bar resamples, right? So I can move this around like that. Let's grab that one. Piano low loop. Boom. And we'll call that low loop 1. And now I just hold down Option and drag it down. Let's see what this one sounds like. Oh yeah, no, that one, I don't like that one. So what I can do is I can go through these. And I can hit my up and down arrow. See how it's like I click on it right here, and I hit my up and down arrow to move through the samples. This one's cool. Play the next one over here. This one here. There we go. Yeah, cool. And you can see this one's like a little bit offset, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my grid. I'm going to move it over like this and move this over as well. Actually, I'll turn off the loop for this one and the warp. I don't need the warp. I'll grab this here because I'm going to use this as an instrument. The other ones I'm going to use as loops. This one will be an instrument. Piano grain. And I'm going to crop it, right click and select crop. And these two here, I'm going to right click and select crop as well. Make sure that when you do this, you don't want to keep other stuff, because once you crop it, it's pretty much gone. I think you can get it back, but I'm not really sure about that. And then I'm just going to drag my piano grain down here. Now I've got this instrument. And if I wanted to, I don't have to turn the warp on, because it's just gonna play it. It sounds fine playing it back at its original speed. Make sure I'm in classic mode for this though, because I want it to start and stop when I hit the key. If I use one shot right here, oops, sorry, let me put that back down. If I use one shot, it's gonna play to the end. I don't want that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna set my attack up a little bit. Get rid of that pop in the beginning. Cool, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and send this over to the reverb. And I can turn on my filter here. And just like what I did last week with the synthesizers and stuff like that, let's get that little point on the beginning here. So I'm going to go in here to my filter, go to controls. I've got a filter envelope here. Here we go. I'm going to set this to do the amount. That's a cool little sound. We can put some more stuff on it to make it even cooler. Let's put a little chorus on here. Let's go over here to our audio effects, grab a modulator. No, not that. Pitch and modulation, there we go. Chorus ensemble. Turn on the presets here. Awesome, that sounds good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to these loops here, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of the, well, not all of them. I'm going to grab the parts I want using my warp markers. So I'm going to use Command I to go in here to my warp markers. And grab these little bits that I want right here. Remember, we talked about this yesterday, just the parts that I want to actually grab and have them be on separate samples. Oh, this one here, definitely. Move this over. And I'm just kind of going through and paying attention to where I want my samples to happen. That's exactly what I'm doing here. Is I'm saying, I want this to be a new sample, I want this to be a new sample, stuff like that. Okay, so I've got these in here, and I think this should be good. We can always adjust it more if we need to. Let's just listen. Oh, okay, yeah, definitely we want this to be more of these. Cool. All right, so every one of these is going to be a new sample. I'm going to right click on it and go to slice to new MIDI track. Go in here and set this to warp marker and hit OK. And there we go. So now, if I want to play this, when you slice to new MIDI track, one thing I didn't mention yesterday is it does create an audio MIDI clip for you to play these back. Awesome. These are all a little bit, let me just turn the attack up for all these. There we go. Cool, so there's everything. So now, let's go ahead and hit play. Bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, stop this. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Cool, so we have that there. Now I can play this. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. I'm just playing stuff in here. Bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. I'm just playing random stuff. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom. And I'm going to go ahead and quantize all this to the 16th notes. There we go. Let's listen to this. Boom, bap, boom, bap. Whoops, that was not the 16th notes. There we go. Let's quantize it to the 16th notes. That was the 8th notes. What this will do is it'll lock it into that rhythm. There we go. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. This stuff in the beginning was not great. Boom, bap, a little bit too steady. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. This one's not bad. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom. And again, I'm just going to go through and find the bits that I like. I'm option dragging down, click on this, and going in here like this. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. This one can be a 2-bar loop. I like the whole 2 bars. Bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom. Move these over. Boom, bap. I'm hitting 0 to turn them off. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom. That's pretty cool. Boom. You can hear I'm changing the loop around a little bit. Bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. That's kind of cool. Oops. Bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, cool. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. That's pretty cool. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Okay, so I have these here. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. So these two here. Boom, bap, boom, bap. Let's make this one a 2-bar loop as well. Length 2 bars. Boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Nice. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. So I think this one and this one are my 2 favorites. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. I'm gonna crop this down. Boom, bap. Crop this one down. Boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. Awesome. Bap, boom, bap, bap. Nice. Boom, bap. Now, here's a cool little trick that you can do. I don't want my loop length. I don't need this loop length here, so I'm just going to go ahead and adjust I'm going to right click on this and go unmap here. And now this one here, this is like for drum rack stuff. I've got this in here, I unmapped it. What I can do is I've got all these different loops, all these different slices in here. Well, all of these different slices, let's go to the first one here. I'm going to unmap it, and I'm going to right click it again and go to copy value to siblings. So now it should, no, okay, it's not. Let's see. Yeah, well, what it should be doing is it should unmap it, but it's not seeing these as siblings for some reason. Really what I want to do is I want to set it up so they're not like, I think I messed it up by doing it to that one first. Let's see if I can get back to this. I'm not really sure how I can do that though. Let's do one more. So what it does is it spreads it around to all the different, there we go. Let's go back over here. Unmap. Oh, no, it doesn't even have it. Interesting. Okay. So I'm not really sure why it's not allowing me to do that anymore. It no longer shows me the copy value to siblings. So that's unfortunate, because what I want to do is I'm going to take this without having to do it to all of them, which is super annoying. Let's see. Oh, siblings 2. I wonder what it thinks of the siblings. Something earlier. Yeah. So it's not really doing what I want. What I want it to do is unmap it and then be able to go in here and say, all right, let's unmap this and say, let's map the transpose to that first one there. And now go in here and see if I can map that all the way to the other ones. 19, there we go. Copy the value. Okay, cool. So now if I click on this, whoops, undo. There we go. There we go. So now this here should adjust all my pitches. So boom, boom. Yeah. But it's not. It's like some of them I think are still mapped to the other stuff. So that's why it's like doing weird stuff. Yeah, it's still like adjusting. Yeah. So it's not, yeah, it's like still adjusting my loop for some of them. It's unfortunate. I would have to go through and do this by hand. But what I wanted to have happen was I wanted to, so it would transpose based on this little knob right here, which would be really cool. Anyway, I think we've done a lot. We've done enough of this stuff here. So what we're going to do now is, well, let me just undo that. Oh, yeah, it's not. Return to default. There we go. Default. Oh, I see what it's doing. It didn't map. It didn't do the mapping to it. It just did the. Yeah, that's too bad. All right. Well, here we'll just set that. Cool. And that one. Cool. Awesome. So we got these two loops here. Now we've got this nice little basis of stuff here to mess around with. And so then what we can do here is set some stuff up. So we've got our drum here. Bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. And I got this piano grain here, and I can make a little thing out of this. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, now. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. Cool. What was this one here? This one is boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. So let's say here, let's start with some stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy these names down. Oops. so I can see what's going on here real quick. Staying organized. And now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all this other stuff that I'm not really using. I'm not really using any of this stuff right now. Probably in real life I wouldn't get rid of all that stuff, but just to keep things a little bit neater for y'all. Okay, so I have this. Okay, so let's get the hi-hat over here. Command-Shift-I to insert the scene with whatever's playing in here. Cool. And I'll just have everything play here actually. Here, let's get rid of that. And then this one here. So now we've got a nice little selection of things to play, and I can lay this out as a little song. Over here, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, cool, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom. Awesome. And now I've got that recorded in. I can just go over here into this one here. And say, let's grab these. See what we got over here. And I'm going to go in here and just make a couple little adjustments. Boom. Click on this. Let's get this to be this one here. There we go. Cool. And these down here, I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff here. Get rid of this last one as well. Cool. And this last one down here, let's grab this stuff, get rid of that, and then duplicate all this. Oh, whoops, wait, hold on a second. There we go. Duplicate all this over. So now we got a nice little layout here. Boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap. Boom, bap, boom, bap. You can hear they're a little bit off. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom. So if you wanted to, we could go ahead and straighten these out a little bit more with these. Yeah. Just kind of pull them in a little bit tighter. There we go. Boom. So this last part over here. Yeah, better. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. Cool. All right. So this is basically talking about resampling. Let's just go over some of the notes because I wasn't really reading from the notes. But the tools that we can use for resampling is our audio samples, sampler, DAW, effects. Basically, what you do is you start with a sound that's triggered in a loop, or you're triggering it yourself. Usually it's like a 2-bar loop or something like that. Add an effect directly to the track, or you can add an effect to the return track. Atmospheric sounds, I recommend using reverbs and filters. Rhythmic sounds use delays. The weirder the effect, the better. So if you're just using the stock plugins that come with DAW, you're only going to get so much. Your mileage is going to vary with this. If we have like effects like reverb, we can just freeze and flatten it. But I was recording everything in so I could like do some stuff. You can also create the track and route it in, and you can use knobs and stuff to kind of bend the sound over time. So for example, if I've got like a piano sound here, let's use this snare drum, this bap sound as an example. So if I have, where are we? This one here, I could see how it's like this really long thing. If I want to put a filter on this, and the filter, let's go ahead and throw a filter on here. Under EQ and filters, I'm going to put my audio filter right here directly on it. And now, I can have that be on here directly. And what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and stop everything. And I'm going to go ahead and record that in, Command T. We're going to call this one BAP filter, bounce. I'm going to grab the audio from that track directly. There we go. I'm going to make sure I've got the record turned on over here as well so I can move the thing around. There it is. Make sure we're good. Actually, I don't think I need record on to do that. Yeah, I don't. And then I'm just going to record it in. Hit the record button. I'm going to hit that button there. Where is it? Oh, I do need it because I need to play it. So let's hit the record button here. And now, okay, there's that. So let's do this. Let's do it again. All right, cool. So I got that little sound there, and I can sample this. I'm going to turn my warp off, and everything now is just exactly the same. The only thing that's different is that we put in here, we just put that filter on there, and I was just changing it in real time. That's really the only thing that was different here. So I got this, and you got to zoom in and make sure you grab the right part right from the top there. The end is not as important as the beginning, because the end is just like whatever. The beginning is actually quite important. There we go. I'm going to crop these and drag them over here so they're into my BAP sound. Let's drag them onto a G sharp and A sharp. Just going to drag them this way. Come on. Drag it to the BAP. There we go. G sharp and A sharp there. Turn off the filter or delete the filter. And now if I hit play on this, it's got the filter directly in there. So I've got our filter directly in here, which is pretty cool. So I can go through here on this BAP and change this around a little bit. So this one here, maybe it goes up to this one, and maybe this one goes up to this one, something like that. So let's listen. Boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap. Maybe that's cooler. Maybe we want these over here to be this one. Boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap. That might be better. Bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. It's pretty cool. Boom, bap, boom, bap, yeah, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap. So you get that filter, that kind of filter sweep in there that I recorded in manually by my hand. Okay, so that's what it talks about right here. So assign the controller knobs to interesting effect parameters, record on the audio track, record the audio while playing the parameters, set up a loop in the newly recorded audio clip. If you're doing loop stuff, and then you can use the arrow keys to scroll through, which is what we did, and I would when I was doing some loop stuff, and you option drag to make copies of that. Then keep searching for more cool loops. Basically, it's all the stuff that I did here for you, just set up slightly differently, but basically the same, and mix the sounds into your song. If you want to trigger the clip with MIDI, drag it into a drum rack or a simpler instrument, which is what we just did there. So we're triggering some of these clips with MIDI. Some of these are actual like little like loops, like this one. Remember, that's that click sound from my mouth from the very beginning. And then over here, we have this one here, which was set up as a loop, but I played it in. Right? This one went through that kind of granular effect. And if you watch this video back, you're gonna, like, if you go back and you kind of skip around the video, watch the end, watch the beginning, it's gonna be really interesting to see how we got to where we got. So essentially, I don't really expect y'all, your stuff to be this complex, but I do expect you to have some stuff that you like record with your mouth, maybe you record some other instruments, maybe run it through a couple of effects, record it in, try to get the hang of this, because this is really useful for your productions and stuff like that. Like this is how people get really interesting sounds, recording stuff with their phones, recording stuff with their handheld recorders, and then going in and then messing with the sound and stuff like that. So there you go. There's resampling along with the sampling assignment in there.